Hello once again guys, I am back with another video. First time in a while. I think the last video was probably sometime last year in 2024. First video in 2025. I know it took me a while. It's April already. Today I'm going to be doing some sprint stuff again. It's my first sort of sprint session or sprint specific session in a while. So I'm just going to start easing into it. Before this, had like a 2-3 week break from sprinting. Just focusing on like simple accelerations. Of course, we're going to start off with our plyometric drills, plyometric stuff, skipping stuff, and then progress from there as we move on. Alright, so let's go. Okay, so first off, I'm going to be starting off with some plyometrics. Starting off with some forward leaps just to get a bit of that bounciness and reactiveness at the start. Alright, I'm going to unclip my mic because this is going to sound very weird when I jump. Alright, just 10 forward leaps, walking back to the start, and then we go again. So about 4 sets of this. Right, nice and light. Now the focus is not to jump as high as you can. Focus is, I want to focus more on the landing. So you want to try and attack the floor. Common mistake while doing plyos is that some people, when they go for the jump, right, point the toes down. You want to try and dorsiflex your toes as you go up. So as I was saying, with the plyometrics, you want to try and dorsiflex your toes as you come up so you can prepare yourself to attack the floor even better. Alright, so let's go something like this again. Now, leaps are pretty much a low-hanging fruit for majority of people. They can get a lot of value out of doing some kind of leaps or even pogos on the spot, especially if you're starting off with plyometrics for the first time. Just want to keep it simple, going for leaps. Right, there's 4 sets now. Right, so next up I want to do a little bit of bounding because we're going to be sprinting today. So of course a good idea would be to get some single foot contacts. Okay, so obviously didn't see the whole thing there. So with the bounding, you want to have a nice balance of height and distance. Okay, so not focusing on going too far, not focusing on going too high. So we're going to go about 6 for each side. So I'm just going to go for about 4 sets of these again. There you have it, bounding. Right after bounding, I want to get into some skipping drills. These are really good for like sprint mechanics and stuff. Starting off with the ever so simple, or not so simple, a little bit complicated. We've got A skips. So this A skip drill is also requires a bit of coordination to go through. If you're not that great with your coordination, what you can do, alright, is just start off bouncing. One knee up, one knee up. When you're ready, right, you want to add some movement to it. Okay, so nice and slow, get into the rhythm. Don't focus on going too fast or anything. Right, and then once you're comfortable, you can go slightly faster. So it definitely takes a while to get used to it, but once you've done that, then it'll be second nature. Next up, I like to do a little bit of B skips as well. So with the B skips, okay, it's not so much about extending the leg out and landing with the foot in front of you. Land out and think of dragging your foot on the floor, right? Really digging your foot into the floor and pulling it back. So it's gonna look like you're going for straight legs, but you're gonna pull it back. So this requires a little bit more coordination, but same with the A skips. Just go slowly first, focus on getting a nice rhythm, and then you can start off on the spot first. And when you're ready, add the movement in. Now another really neat drill that I like to do is the ABC. So it's a combination. Alright, so it's a skip, outside, I think they call it C, and then ending off with a B skip. Okay, so this requires a little bit more coordination. I used to be in track and field when I was younger, so pretty much used to this drill. But if you're new to this, alright, try and master the A skip and B skip first before advancing and trying all the other variations. Hope you can hear me because there is a jet plane up there. I can't be bothered to repeat what I've said. Started off with some bounce. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. So I'm just gonna do one more set of this last drill, and then we'll get into the sprinting stuff. Alright, so nice and warm. Going to some nice shapes that we want to make during our sprinting. Today, acceleration focused, and then we'll probably end off with some air bike stuff for conditioning. Decided that we are going to be doing hill sprints today because I think it's a bad idea to go straight into like flat sprints, especially if this is my first sprint session since maybe 3 weeks ago, and I've been doing it on this hill. Okay, so this hill, not too steep, nice little gentle gradient, good enough for me. What it does is it adds a bit more resistance, so you can focus a bit more on the driving through in the sprint. And at the same time, it's a little bit friendlier on the joints because the ground is closer with every step you take, so good for beginners. So for those of you who want to start off sprinting, right, my recommendation would be start off with the hill sprint, about 10 to 15 meters, 6 sets, not too much. Plenty of rest in between sets. Remember, with sprinting, the idea is not to tax you out or gas yourself out. You want to go easy, you want to have full recovery between each set because each set has to be of high quality. I've already done a couple of build-ups, but I'll do one more build-up sprint just to show you the difference in intensity. So for today's sprint, we are going to start off with a 2-point start because I'm just slowly, gradually introducing sprinting back into my training. The good thing about like 2-point starts is that you can slowly get into a low position, and once it starts to feel like you're falling over, you take that quick step and then try and accelerate and drive yourself up the hill as much as you can. Try not to think too much about it. Just remember, you just don't want to fall face first, and you want to try and run as fast as you can. Starting from a 2-point start, nice position, drop slowly and go. That was my last build-up sprint. Next 2 sets, we're going to be a bit more intensive. Okay, now the key thing about acceleration, right? You don't want to accelerate and look up, right? Because that will automatically you'll automatically feel like you want to stay as high as you can. You want to stay tall when you are in max velocity or going for top speed. But in accelerations, a key factor of it is you actually try to stay low. Alright? Use that lean forward to drive forward as well. Right? Because you're going to feel like you're going to fall down. And I know it's a scary feeling, and it takes some time to get used to it, which is the reason why we don't start off in this 3-point start, because this is going to be very low, and once you start to drop forward, right, if you're not used to it, then chances are you're probably going to face plant on the floor. So as a start, just keep it easy, right? 2-point start, all right, drop in and then go. This is going to be my first set. I'm going to put the mic down. First set done. We're going to take some rest here. You want to make sure you're fully recovered for the next set. Common mistake with people who want to do sprint training. Alright, they're done with one. They walk back. Before they can get even a full rest, they want to go right away again. I suggest you take your time, get fully recovered, because you want every set to be of high quality. Rest is key here. Some people are going to ask and say, you're not a sprinter. You're not a high-level elite sprinter. Why are you teaching us how to sprint? Why are you teaching me how to sprint? Who are you to teach me how to sprint? I'm not here to be like a technical track and field coach or a sprint coach or anything. I'm just telling you, you've got to sprint. There's a lot of benefits in sprinting. Alright, set number 2. Got 4 more to go. We have one more sprint. and then I'm gonna head in the gym and do some pull-ups. Why pull-ups? Because that's how I programmed it. Okay, last sprint coming up. I've put the camera there so that it's easier for me to just pick it up and go back to the gym. I don't have to walk back down. So that's the sprinting and pull-ups done. Next up, final thing. I'm not doing any tempo runs today because shins are not feeling that great. We're going to be doing some intervals on the air bike, high effort stuff. Just trying to get a little bit fitter, trying to expand the gas tank. So yeah, here we go. I guess that is the end of the video. That air bike interval really killed me. I am so gassed out right now. I'm gonna fuel up with some carbs and then I've got one more client for the night and we call it the day. I'm gonna try and get more content up on the YouTube channel as well as on my Instagram page. Hopefully, if you're not following already, links down in the description below. I want to do more lifting content as well, so watch out for that. I'm gonna try and upload this every once a week. So I'll see you guys next week. Assalamualaikum.